You know what? I don't know if any of that first part went out.
You don't know if what?
Let me see something.
It was coming on mine.
It did.
Okay, good. I want to make sure it came to the attendees though. Sharing. Okay, we're good.
Has no volume with it.
So that shows some of the adjustments that communities have had to make, including ours, and these webinars that the board and I have been attending with attorneys and learning best practices from leadership all around the country has allowed us to be so successful in our campaign and not have any COVID-19 or very, very minimum in the community. While many of our operations have been substantially closed for a period of time, we've continued working. I'm going to list off some of the things that we've accomplished during this coronavirus situation, in addition to the work orders and regular responsibilities that we have. At the beginning of the year, we began painting all the buildings and doors. We continued that through March and April into the COVID-19. We finished that. We did a successful job. Our bid did not have very many change orders or additional costs at all. And we ended up spending about $37,000 less than we would have if we went with Elias Brothers, who had been painting the buildings previously. We sold the man lift that we had, the cherry picker. We sold that for $8,000. We then canceled the special insurance policy that we had on that. We received a $1,500 refund, and we would save $2,400 a year in perpetuity by not having to insure that cherry picker. With that money, with the proceeds from that sale, the board authorized us to buy 2 new golf carts. So Bruce and I both have 2 new golf carts, and the association has 2 new golf carts to use any way that we need them. Dryer vents in all the multi-story cleaning buildings were cleaned back in May. Fire alarm inspections have been completed. Fire extinguisher maintenance was performed as well. Replace and repaint decking on the fishing dock. Repaired irrigation system that had a very big problem, and nobody could figure it out. It was involved with the pump out into the lake. We actually had to have a diver go out and swim in order to fix it. But the alternative was to buy a $5,000 part, is what they had suggested, and I wasn't going to do that, so we figured it out our own way. Just prior to the pandemic, we negotiated a preliminary agreement with Habitat for Humanity that they will not infringe on our walking path. We repaired the concrete swales on Windsor Club and Royale Boulevard, where there was divots where people could trip and fall. We converted the fluorescent lights in the clubhouse to LED lights. This will help keep the heat down when there's parties, things like that, and it'll also save power. We had the double oven in the kitchen repaired, saving us from having to make an expensive replacement. We supervised the pool heater repair after we had one pool heater literally bust open and water was gushing everywhere. It was a pretty serious problem, and we had that repaired. We deep cleaned all the hallway floors in the condo buildings. This is the first deep clean that we did since the original installation of the new flooring, and it turned out very, very nice. The pool maintenance project. One of the ideas that we had during the pool being closed was to go ahead and clean the bottom of it. We weren't sure if it would work, and we took a while to figure out what chemicals would work best and what the formula was, but we went ahead and did it, and it turned out beautifully. And I think it was very smart to take advantage of the opportunity, because I hope to never have to have the pool closed ever again. We had some additional repairs done along with the cleaning. We replaced the lights in the pool. We did some work on the plumbing, and we added some hooks for the volleyball nets that are recessed into the tiles, and fixed some cracking where it was very bad on the bottom of the pool that we probably never would have noticed that had we not done this. We cleaned out our old files that are no longer necessary to keep. We don't keep records from longer than 7 years ago. This gave more room for the bingo and social club supplies, and I know they were very happy. We purchased dollies to make moving the blue chairs for bingo and those events easier for Bruce. He can just push the dolly around and then take each chair off at a time. We installed new color changing lights on the lake fountains. We improved the lighting around the south end of the lake path. We replaced the uplighting on the trees coming down Lakeside Club Boulevard as you enter the community. We are working with owners to resolve 4 or 5 different floods, car accidents, falling down situations. Looks like we'll be totally covered, but just a little bit of work involved in facilitating that. We installed a new littoral planting, which should be growing in very soon and look really nice on the east side of the lake. The pool furniture is in the process of being repaired. We took a huge load over there, and almost all the chairs will be repaired soon. And negotiated roofing bid for 2020 that the board will discuss later. And we've improved our email communications to the residents to try to keep you guys informed. I know we haven't been having the meetings, we haven't been having the managers' reports, so I want to get information out when it's important to you, and that's a good way of doing so. So look out for more emails. As far as the COVID response, I want to talk a little bit about that and a little bit about hurricane season coming up. As far as the COVID response, the board acted swiftly. We closed the pool, clubhouse, other amenities when the situation escalated to where the closures were necessary. We expanded cleaning of clubhouse and restrooms, hallways, developed and executed systems to open outdoor amenities safely. We used an online sign-up reservation tool that we were able to control the capacity, and people could sign up for the time allotment that works best for them. I had so many residents from up north contact me, where can we get this service for our community? And I told them, and their manager still didn't want to do it. So it worked very well for us, and I would recommend it to any community that needs to do that type of thing. We installed signage to reflect the information necessary for COVID-19 in order to do this safely and minimize the association's liability. We provide cleaning products and supplies so that residents may sanitize their area, both before and after its use. We kept in touch with community members, sending regular updates from the board and CDC. We attended multiple webinars and other educational opportunities, as shown in that video, to learn what the best practices are in an unprecedented situation. We discussed virus and safety precautions with our staff. We replaced the clubhouse air filters with the highest quality filters we could get. And we installed a plexiglass barrier in front of the office window so Pamela could still help people without having to worry about the COVID-19 issue. I'm very hopeful that in the near future, the COVID situation will be neutralized. We can get things back to normal and make things at Pine Ridge better than ever. And I want to say thank you to everybody for your support and cooperation as we've done our best to navigate through this difficult time and keep everybody healthy. The last thing I want to talk about is hurricane season. And it's a little bit different this year. I mean, we all know about hurricane season, but the most active part of the hurricane season is these upcoming weeks through the middle of September. We all want residents to prepare accordingly. And I have some extra tips that may come into play this year that you want to pay attention to in light of COVID-19. You want to understand that your planning may be different this year because of the need to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Shelters, situations like that where people are grouped together, there's going to be a different situation. Give yourself more than usual. Give yourself more time than usual to prepare your emergency food, water, and medicine supplies. Home delivery is the safest choice for buying disaster supplies. However, that may not be an option for everyone. If in-person shopping is your only choice, take steps to protect yourself and others when running essential errands. Protect yourself and others when filling prescriptions by limiting in-person visits to the pharmacy. Sign up for mail order or delivery. Call in your prescription ahead of time. Use drive-through windows or curbside if available. Pay attention to local guidance about updated plans for evacuations and shelters, including sheltering your pets. That's something that you really, really, really need to keep in mind. There's no guarantee of a clubhouse being available as a shelter, especially in a COVID situation. And the shelters that are available, space is going to be limited, and you want to have a plan and be ready to go, especially those of you who require medical devices and things like that. When checking on your neighbors and friends, which I know a lot of us like to do, please remember social distancing, 6 feet from each other, and the other CDC recommendations like masks, before, after, during the storm. So thank you very much. That's my report.
Okay, thank you, Eric. We have the treasurer's report. Do you want me to go over it, or do we have Scott on the line? All right, go ahead.
Scott's not on the line, but I'll read his report. Unexpected expenses due to COVID-19, to our COVID-19 response are being covered by attention to frugality and all operational spending where possible. A significant 15% increase in the association's general insurance premium dropped a wrench into the budget planning, but it has been sorted. We were helped when Eric negotiated a $5,000 discount from our broker. As of today, AR consists of 11 owners, 5 who are at the attorney for collections, 1 on a payment plan, 1 owes a small amount. 4 owners are in the collections process. This is less than half of where we were last year. So that's a good sign, especially with everything going on with COVID. He says association financial documents are available for review, and we will have that on the website for you.
Okay, thank you, Eric and Scott. Okay, the president's report. The coronavirus precautions seem to be working well. No residents have been tested positive since the 2 cases in May. Following the CDC restrictions, opening up the pool, allowing volleyball and pool aerobics has protected all residents using the facilities. We still want to restrict inside activities until there is a more positive improvement in Lee County. Your cooperation and understanding through this pandemic will keep us all safe. And I'd like to commend everybody for their cooperation on keeping a distance from everybody. Proof is that we haven't had any incidences. We have a community to the south of us that had problems. They had deaths, but we haven't had any, thank goodness. All the roof vents on units that were re-roofed in 2017 have been opened up so they can now vent attics properly. The next group of roofs to be replaced have been quoted and will be reviewed by the board of directors. The pool bottom, like Eric said, was chemically cleaned in May when we were shut down. It looks great. I just reviewed it this week. Hopefully it will stay clean until our refinishing in a few years. On 8/13, the Lee County Sheriff issued a letter asking all residents to follow steps that will keep us safe and safeguard our property. Please review the following, these recommendations, and prevent theft. Now let me just review these recommendations. This is what his letter said. The Lee County Sheriff is asking for your help in putting a halt to a recent rash of car burglaries. You can assist us by using common sense steps to make your vehicle less appealing to thieves. Often these crimes occur because owners fail to practice the preventive safety tips listed below. Lock your vehicle. The average burglar simply checks to see if a car is unlocked. spends less than a minute inside the vehicle, checking the glove box, door panels, and center console for valuables. Take your valuables with you. This includes your wallet, purse, computer, weapons, and other items. Park in a well-lighted area. 2 things burglars don't like: light and witnesses. Do not leave personal identification papers in cars. This includes your license, social, stolen. These items can lead to identity theft. Consider theft prevention devices. There are a number of audible vehicle alarms that will scare off burglars looking to grab your belongings. Keep your garage door closed. Leaving the garage open, unattended, allows burglars looking to grab your belongings. This also includes locking your door to the garage. A lot of people, have your garage door down, but lock the man door. Lock your front door, keeping everyone safe. Be aware of your surroundings and report suspicious activities. See it, say it, make the call. And the last item I'm happy to say is we've signed a new contract, and we agreed with Eric to extend his employment through August 2022. We are very pleased with Eric's performance, and his feelings as our manager in Pine Ridge is mutual. So thank you, Eric. That's it on the manager's report. I mean, the president's report, I'm sorry. All right, committee reports. We picked up a treasurer.
Looks like we picked up a treasurer.
Okay, good. Well, did you tell him we already took care of it? Scott, we already took care of your treasury report. Is that all right? Okay. Okay, why
Committee?
don't we start with, if we have any committee reports? And let's start with Mike. Do you have anything, Mike? Can you hear me, Mike?
No, I don't have anything to report, and I can hear you.
Okay, and you're reporting on what, Mike?
I am reporting on the Architectural Review Committee.
Okay, great. Okay, and then, John? Do you have anything to talk about on your committees, John?
Okay. No,
Can't hear John.
Okay, Bill,
Yes.
you want to report?
Yeah,
requirements.
yeah, I have a few things.
You want to report on that?
Hello?
Okay, Bill?
Yes.
You want to report?
You want me to go now, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a couple things on the amenity.
Right ahead.
I had a couple things on the lake and amenities report. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. We're just muted so that way you can talk.
Oh, okay, I'm ready then. Just a couple items other than what Eric had already talked about in his report. We added the lighting that some of the owners had asked about in the picnic area. We added those lights there. We had a meeting with the contractor about new bocce ball courts, but that turned out to be probably more than we would want to spend. It was over $20,000 for those courts. We're continuing to work on the front fountains out there. We had to drain the water from them because it was becoming a cesspool for mosquitoes and a few little frogs in there. And as Eric had said, we added over 300 bulrush on the east side of the lake. And this is to encourage cover for the fish that we're continue to add to the lake. And also the water quality has continued to improve over the last 8 months. And if anyone has any suggestions on any of the lake or amenities, you can give me a call at 239-940-5064, or you can email me at bengland1900@gmail.com. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Okay, Scott, do you have anything on,
On what?
Scott, do you want to give a landscape committee report?
I don't have anything much to report on the landscaping. Eric could talk about some of the tree trimming that's going on, and also at the corner of Green Cypress and Lakeside Club Boulevard, we did have a large live oak split and fell down into the road. Fortunately, Eric got hold of Bob, our tree guy. It took about 3 hours to get it cleared up. So we're very thankful for that. That could have laid in that road for 2 or 3 days otherwise. So that was a good job. But that's about all I have. Thank you.
I'll just add to landscaping a couple of things. As you drive down Lakeside Club Boulevard, those islands that have the trees, they had flax lilies around them, but it was very spotty. It wasn't a complete circle. We completed the circle of flax lilies around all of those. And as you notice it's a small thing, but it's noticeable. And then we also planted a tree, a palm tree, and it's friends of Jimmy Murphy, who passed away, put together some money, and they asked if they could plant a palm tree in his honor, and we did that, and it turned out very nice. So just wanted to report on that too.
Okay, Phil, do you have anything on rules?
Good. Say that again. Say it again.
Okay, I already kind of went over some safety items from the sheriff, but we did have one incident this summer where some boys were throwing bottles into a lake. Somebody called the police and they took care of the incident. As far as I know, that was the only incident we had all summer. So I think we're in pretty good shape as far as being safe. So that's it on safe. The committees? Okay, now we don't have any old business. Is that correct? Okay, new business. Do we want to go ahead and discuss the 2020 roofing bid, Eric? Let's go ahead and do that.
Whatever direction you go, I recommend locking in a price before we get a big hurricane, because that changes the ball game if we were to. But we had 3 bids. The lowest was Frank's Roofing. They did our work last time and they did a pretty good job. So I would recommend take the lowest bid, and the guys that we know did a good job. It all works out. So Frank's.
And what was that bid, Eric?
$247,000.
What was the next closest?
The next closest bid was $250,000, but it wasn't from a company that I didn't have as much faith with. And then the third bid was $339,000, so significantly more.
And we're pretty much satisfied with Frank's Roofing.
And knowing that we did it last time and we got a good job makes me more comfortable than going with a stranger.
Does anyone want to make a excuse me? Does anyone
Want to make a motion?
I make a motion, we go with Eric's first choice,
I second that motion.
Frank's Roofing.
Frank's Roofing.
Okay, any second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Oh,
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion passes.
All right, so
I guess we won't have any questions at the end of this meeting because of the circumstances. So I'm going to make a motion to close this meeting. Do I have a second?
I have a second.
Do I have any discussion?
no.
All right. End the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, we forgot to vote. Aye.
So, what was that?
I said we didn't vote.
We
No, I
didn't
didn't
vote,
get to say aye.
we didn't vote on the roofing.
Yeah, they voted on
Did you
it.
No,
vote?
we didn't. We didn't vote on the closing of the meeting.
On closing.
Oh, I'm sorry. We vote to close.
See y'all.
That was a half hour, John. That was a record.
How many roofs are we doing?
Next day or two, I guess.
You said it's 43 people?
We were up to 48 at one point.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 32.
Well, how many people you have in a meeting?